it's fun to dream about a lot of the good things about Korea, but like every country and every culture, they have their issues, right? And for us, we have a lot of societal issues, right? Especially when it comes to like public perception
and shame.
Yeah, and shame. And it's like, so like, you know, when I heard for her, it's like, oh, they said I'm too old. It's like, you're like 30. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for them, they had this finite idea. It's like, if you're not a teen, you're never going to make it. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. We're just talking about anything and everything, man. Listen.
I saw K-pop Demon Hunters. It still took me 2 weeks after we talked about it.
There's so
I don't
much
know
stuff to
why.
watch.
Maybe I was like,
because it's called K-pop Demon Hunters.
yeah,
That's
I
why.
was too inundated with the idea. Oh, it's gonna be so corny. It's gonna be like cringe, and I fucking loved every minute of it. There was no moment where I was like, that was dumb. I fucking loved that shit.
It's so culturally funny.
Yeah.
The humor is right. It makes sense, right? Have you watched it with the Korean dub?
No.
It's horrendous.
Yeah, I heard a little bit of it because it sounded too much like the way Disney dubs.
You know what it is?
The Marvel films.
Yeah.
You know
what it is? It's very specific humor that it was American humor that doesn't lend well to Korean humor.
They're also using Korean voice acting techniques that aren't very natural sounding. It's very childlike, children's TV style voice acting. So yeah, I can see why. The funny thing is that none of the songs are translated. They're just straight English.
It's not. It felt like the movie was cut down. That's like the one thing I kind of noticed.
It was a little bit short.
Yeah,
but I don't think it missed anything. I felt like every moment was worth.
The one part that didn't make sense to me was the aunt.
Yeah, Celine. I thought that was a little short.
I was like, where'd you come from again?
Where did you go afterwards?
Exactly. Right? I was like, what the fuck? But that's so small. That's just
it was very small.
It was entertaining as fuck.
It was entertaining as fuck. It was cute as shit. Culturally too, how it incorporates manga and anime styles, like when they turn to chibi faces or whatever.
With the popcorn.
Mm-hmm. I really felt like this was what Turning Red tried to be.
Yeah.
Because it was very close.
To me, it was a successful version of Raya.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Raya, which was one of the most garbage fucking animated films I've ever seen.
Disney has a problem with that. It's like, what is Agrabah? Like, where is that, right? What Moana, right? What is she? Just Polynesian. Like they're all of them, right? And Raya was just Southeast Asian. Because in the movie, straight up, they just mixed all their cultures together.
It was too much.
That's like, come on, man. And even Disney would know if they made a movie where China, Korea, Japan were all the same people, we'd look at them sideways, right?
Yeah.
I think they did the Southeast Asians dirty on that one.
Yeah.
And with Sony, Wish Dragon, you were in.
Yeah.
They had this Chinese as fuck movie. Then years before or 2023, have you seen Ultraman on Netflix? Same animators, Sony Animation. It's Japanese as fuck.
Yeah.
Right? It's funny because he's a professional baseball player and as his alter ego, and he bats like Ichiro. So there's all this Japanese culture love in that movie too.
Yeah.
And then this same studio looked at the Koreans and gave us the fucking love we needed.
Yeah.
Like that representation where like Elemental was this close to being Korean.
Yeah.
This shit was Korean.
Yeah, like when you guys, I mean, you guys could watch our review of Raya. It's been so long since I've seen it, but I remember we went in on that shit, right?
Yeah.
And, and at the time too, and I think like we were talking about, we're gonna get to a point eventually where we're not just supporting things just because it is in the likeness of us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We shit on so much Asian content all the time. Come on.
Yeah. And then so I think people are kind of understanding that now, right? I think I just really hated that conversation of just, well, we need this right now. I was like, well, we could just also just support good shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, oh, what if like in the spaces you meet the writer? I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I don't know you personally. I don't give a fuck. Also, too, that's like the point of creating art. People can like it or hate it.
I think it's a problem in LA too. You'd be like, so you're at a party and you're like, hey, did you see this movie? He's like, yeah, I thought it was shit. Oh yeah, he was a AD on that.
Yeah. So why was it shit, man?
Yeah. That happens in LA a lot. You never know who worked on a project you hated.
And I'm not saying I'm going out of my way to be like, hey, I heard you work on you're a piece of crap. Right?
Yeah, that doesn't.
We're not talking about the individual. I'm allowed to interpret art the way that I want to interpret it. That's all that it is, right? And so like when we talked about, right, I remember just certain people were just so mad. It's like, you're not here for your people. I was like, have you seen all the other stuff where we talk about some of the great stuff that we've done?
It's like when we're praising Squid Game, I just don't think Riot's on the same level.
Yeah. And if you think that they are, then I don't know what to tell you.
It just has nothing to do with being a Korean bias, to be honest. Yeah. All right, let's do something for them then. What's the shittiest Korean content you can think of? We have so much bias. What is a bad Korean movie that
Was
I
it
saw?
300-Pound Beauty?
Oh, that one had a terrible message, yeah.
Yeah, so people liked it because the acting was good. It was like, the message was fucking garbage, dude. It is absolute. Horrible. I would never show that to anybody. You know what I mean? Your life can be fixed only if you're good looking. That's basically what they're saying.
You lose weight, you fix your teeth, all that shit. It was crazy.
And it's so, the messaging is so bad. And like people, that's not what it meant. No, that's exactly what it showed. Her life literally turned around because she's better looking. And then they're like, well, when they found out that she was the big girl, they blah, 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 blah. It's like, it doesn't matter. None of that would have happened if she wasn't good looking.
Yeah. This isn't Shallow Hal, man. Shallow Hal did it really well.
And then at the end, when they found out she had people, like kids attacked her because she was still, you're the fat girl, they called her pig. It's like, it's the worst messaging of all time. Yeah. Garbage ass film, dude.
Oh my gosh. That movie was funded by the plastic surgery surgeons of Korea.
It's just morality, just like moral bankrupt film, dude. I just don't like that at all.
What's your favorite songs, your top songs, if you could list them?
In Korean songs that I like?
No, I meant in K-pop Demon Hunters. Because I thought every song was a fucking banger.
They're all hits. I don't like pop music, so it's not my cup of tea, but I definitely know lyrics because Mariel's been singing it for the last 3 months. So... You know, like she always
That's how late I am. I'm like 3 months late, and now I'm like obsessed with this shit. And I'm watching all these videos of people reacting to it, these covers of it, the little factoids about it and shit. I'm obsessed.
Up, it's our moment.
Okay, I'm actually tired of Golden.
Gonna be golden. Like I know some of the lyrics just because she sings it so much.
Right.
And it's like, holy shit, dude.
You know what I hope? I hope this shit gets nominated at the Oscars for Best Original Song. Too.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's not. It's like the biggest thing on Netflix ever.
Ever, yeah. It
beat Squid Game, I think.
Beat Squid Game and beat Red Notice. Yeah, so it's the #1 thing on. And then it makes you think, what the fuck, Sony? You sold that shit the rights away?
Well, whoever was a part of that is either fired or you're crazy dumb.
I think,
but that is hard. I get it though.
I read an article. And I've heard other critics say, like, okay, let's think about it then, honestly. If this movie came out in theaters, you know, and they spent like $100 million on the marketing, would they actually, if you think about it, would they spend that kind of money on the marketing?
I don't think so.
Because looking at it, they didn't believe in the project. That's why they sold it, right?
I think it would have. I think it's smart they went streaming, right? Because it's one of those things. It's like, well, it's there. I'll watch it, and it just turned out to be amazing.
And it fucking became a cultural phenomenon.
Because the title is stupid.
But it's everything you want in the story. Yeah. You know, there's like K-pop, there's demons, there's hunters.
That almost was the nail in the coffin for them. Because that's why people were dismissive of it.
Right.
Because of its name.
I think because K-pop as a genre itself is like...
It's already kind of corny.
Yeah, it's corny in a sense. But then... Man, like even me, I was just in my head for some reason thinking of Disney musicals. The way they set up these songs in the musical format is some of the best fucking lyrics in a I'm not going to say children's movie because the director's husband came out and said, yeah, we had every intention. We were thinking about 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
Not kids. That's why a lot of movies are bad because you keep thinking about 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
You got to think about 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
Constantly think what they want because those kids want to like what the older kids like.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, that's a good fucking
assessment. That fight scene in the sauna was so sick.
So sick. The fucking last song, this is what it sounds like. I cried. And then I keep pulling that shit up. I think that might be my #2 favorite song on that.
Yeah.
Because I really ended up liking Your Idol. And then Bubble Pop too. Not Bubble, Soda Pop. I'm like, Dude, I'm so gay. I love this shit.
That's like a radio banger that they put on there. And it's cool too because I think the main writer and the main singer, like she was
EJ.
Yeah, she's like I wouldn't say defunct K-pop star, but she had tried to debut.
Yeah.
And then her company, after she went to, university and school and she came back, they're like, oh, you're too old to debut now. So she went through this whole little thing, but her talent and skill and everything is there.
Yeah.
So she went to the writing realm and then this is what happens for her. And it's such a feel-good story, right?
And people want to hear more.
Yeah.
People want to hear more outside of the K-pop Demon Hunter things. I think somebody either, if it's going to be in Korea or America, someone's got to sign her now. She can hold herself up as a pop star or as a
100%, dude. But that's like the idea of, this kind of goes into like Korean culture too. There's, it's fun to dream about a lot of the good things about Korea, but like every country and every culture, they have their issues, right? And for us, we have a lot of societal issues.
Yeah.
Right? Especially when it comes to like public perception.
And shame.
Yeah, and shame. And it's like, so like, when I heard for her, it's like, oh, they said I'm too old. It's like, you're like 30. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for them, they had this finite idea. It's like, if you're not a teen, you're never going to make it. Versus in America, it's like, okay, you have Spotify, you have so many other things. It doesn't matter what age you are. If people like you, they like you. Let the free market work, right? Yeah. But they kind of like bottleneck you. They just say, this is as high as you can go because of this, and this is it. You're too ugly for this, you're too this for that. And I hate that. I think it's terrible.
Yeah, and we know a girl who is an amazing singer. She can dance, she can act. And she went to Korea, and man, the stuff they said about her face, you know? And it's like, dude, it's rough out there. Yeah. It's rough out there. If there's a sequel, I hope they cover that shit.
Well, this is
cover beauty standards.
Listen, like there's these two dating shows that are huge, right? It's like Singles Inferno. That's the Korean one, right? I think that's the one where they're like on an island and they date like random people.
Oh, so it's a Korean Love Island?
Kind of, yeah.
Right.
And there's that one, and there's this other one where it's these people who have never dated in their lives, and they get a makeover in terms of physical and also personality. So they
personality
in terms of how to communicate. These people can't fucking talk to people. And there's some girls that are really cute, but they're just awkward, and they've never been able to hold a date. And these guys are, Jesus Christ, I just want to go into that screen and sock every single one of them. Like they piss me off,
They're
right?
Trash.
They just, like they don't know how to talk. But you're getting to watch them go through the social growing pains that you experienced when you're a kid. And then eventually you get to this point where you're like, I got to stop doing this shit. If I want to date somebody, I have to tell them I want to date them. I have to talk to them. I have to have conversations. They're just so socially awkward. It's very painful to watch. And the reason why I bring this up is because there's one show, The Singles Inferno, which is every person on that show has had some type of plastic surgery. They all look like fucking like the Joker. Yeah. Permanent smiles, face doesn't move, that type of deal, right?
The fucking Michael Jackson nose.
Michael Jackson nose is, and to me, don't know you guys personally, you all look gross to me.
Yeah.
You don't look human. And none of you are
barely look Korean anymore.
Yeah, and then when they talk, you could tell it's almost like they're scripted, right? Because they want to look as perfect as possible. On the other flip side, you have these people who all look different. This is what like regular human beings look like. Some of them are cute. Some of them are not like stereotypically TV cute, but they're just regular people, right? They look good. And I'd like to see, it's been a long time since I've seen a show in Korea show real people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because everybody's so manicured. And it's just kind of disgusting to me.
I felt like the, was that Black White Chef thing? That was the most humanized Korean thing I've seen in a while, as far as reality TV
Yeah, for
goes.
sure.
Yeah.
And I think that Korea needs to go back to that, right? Like they keep showing this like manicured version of a person that you're trying to sell all the time. Even on a reality TV show, like what the fuck is this shit? So when I saw the dating part, this dating show, I wish you guys could, it's a pretty popular show right now, but you guys could tell me what show this is. But you get to see these socially awkward human beings trying to navigate being a person, and you get to see all their flaws. And it's like frustrating almost. But that's what it is to be a human. Yeah. And I think it's good for Korean people who are not Korean to see that. Oh, this is an example of Korean people. Like they're just regular people. Not everybody's manicured. Like, did you see that girl who was on social media? She was making a joke as a white lady. I didn't appreciate it too. They're like, these Korean guys here, they do not look like the K-pop stars or whatnot. I was like, bitch, and you don't look like Angelina Jolie either, ho. What the fuck is you talking about? You're basing it off of these celebrities.
That's crazy. So she got off a plane and thought everyone's going to just have natural fucking jawlines and all
The
this
fuck?
shit.
And also, look at you, you dumb bitch. You know what I'm saying? But that's also not her fault.
Yeah.
Because of the reality, this fake reality that Korean people sell.
Oh, my mom didn't go back to Korea for like 30, 40 years or something.
Yeah.
It was a while till she finally went back. And she said it was not the country she remembered anymore, all of this stuff, because she kept watching dramas to get back to Korean shit. And so she thought that's what Korea was like.
And it's
No,
not.
It's not like that. Yeah.
You know, like people are living there's regular folks living their regular lives, dude.
Yeah.
And so like people get sold on this idea of who we are. And listen, I get it too, because like I said, it's built in the culture. I got some of the best customer service and stuff out there in Korea. Mm-hmm. And it was explained to me by a couple of people, right? And these are people who are like Korean pride. And we were talking to them and they're like, well, Korean people have a different perspective. Telling me this in Korean, it's like when we give the best service because we want people to feel like Korea is the best country. Mm. So it's not out of like niceness, it's just pride.
Pride.
When you leave Korea, you're going to tell people that Korea is the best.
I've heard this. Yeah. I've heard this that as a nation, because of the way culturally we care about the way we're perceived. Yeah. They are extra when it comes to foreigners or whatever. Like, hey, Korea's great.
Yeah. You know? It's a very different angle. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Which is good and bad.
I mean, I get shocked sometimes, with, what I see. Not shocked. I don't think that's the right word. But sometimes, I'm very proud and happy with the progressive nature that Korea has come to because of, when we grew up, it just, the way it was, the accusations of racism, not too far off. But when people say to this day, Korea is the most racist country, do you stand by that?
No.
I don't think so either.
There was this like huge drama too, not too long, and even now where, okay, we could talk about this too, where I saw this in Korea where if you go, like when you walk by these bars like in Hongdae and whatever, whatnot, there's certain places like no Indian people, no people from like Pakistan or whatever. And there was a video that went viral of this guy who was from India or Pakistan, I can't remember, right? But he was like, do you see these fucking, they're racist. They don't want me in here. And then people in the comments ripped into it. It's like, well, stop fucking sexually assaulting our women. Right. And then, but that was like a huge thing. Right. And I asked a couple of friends out there, it's like, yeah, it's a little bit of an issue because some of these guys, like it's a different culture. And these are like Kyopo people, they speak English, right? Yeah. And they're like, they kind of like grab, Damn. And so, like, even clubs in Korea, if anything, they're not racist, they're ageist. Right. Like, there's clubs in Korea, you can't go if you're a certain age. Like, even if you look young, they'll check your ID. It's like, this is a club for only people who are below 30.
That's why you go to K-Town, you see all these ajashi bars in the fucking corner.
Yep. They fuck up the vibe, so they're ageist, if anything else. But he was telling me, it's like, there's been a bit of an issue with, like, cultural differences where they tend to, like, grab the women or it just doesn't work, right? And they ruin the vibe. And so they think about the vibe of the club, about people having fun. It's good for business. Yeah. And so that's why. And so like people in the comments were ripping into this guy. They're just like, fuck you. It's like, you come here and then you fucking grab our women. Like the way you talk to them is super, like you guys ruin the vibe in the club. I was like, oh shit. Which I didn't know. That's why I asked a couple of my friends in Korea. That's like, it's kind of a thing.
Oh, it's new to them.
Yeah.
In this country, a lot of blood was shed. But it had to come to a point where it's like there's at least a mutual societal standing of, how Black, white, and Latino and Asians got to live together all in this melting pot. I think Korea's homogenous. Yeah. That shit's new to them. When they act like that, is it cool? No. Do they know anything else? Have we, even as an American society, our media has taught them the perception of Black people in this country. And then they say Koreans are racist. Thing, right? So maybe we as a country too, in the way we are an example to the world as far as coming to the world's melting pot. It's like, well, we're not there either.
Dude.
So we can't judge.
Did you hear about the Prime Minister of Japan? He just stepped down.
Something familiar because I heard there were 2 massive anti-immigration protests. Is it separate?
It's kind of hilarious because basically, they have a a workforce issue in Japan, right? Because of a population crisis.
Yeah.
So he brokered a deal with India saying that we want 500, we'll take in 500,000 of immigrant workers. And Japan was like, are you out your fucking mind?
Yeah.
Like, are you out your fucking mind?
We wouldn't even have that in LA.
Yeah. You know what's so crazy about that too? It's like, not even from like it's like, Japan's a small country. You're going to bring in 500,000 people from another country and another culture? Like, you're going to fuck
insane.
the landscape of Japan.
Yeah.
And that's what people are saying. It's like, dude, we have our culture. You bring in 500,000 people? That's fucking insane. He stepped down the very next day. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
People, they what Japan calls rioting, but they protested immediately.
Yeah.
Which if you're a country that has like a very specific culture, food, it's like, dude, yeah, that's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
That's literally insane.
I think Japan is one of the ways you could say it's like they have their version of racism.
Yeah.
But it's not like our racism.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the right word, but in their head, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want to say pragmatic.
Yeah.
Pragmatic racism or whatever. But it's kind of like a 1 + 1 =. It's not that nuanced to them because, like I said, they're homogenous companies. It's new to them. Yeah. So, I mean, I've heard of those signs in Japan where it's like no Koreans, no Filipinos, and no foreigner kind of signs go up. And then it'd be those situations because that particular restaurant had a bad experience with Koreans. The Saichi Koreans or something.
It sucks for like Japan too, because like their population is declining sharply. Right? To the point where the conversation is like by 2060, there is no Japanese people.
It's funny, like they wouldn't even take 500K Koreans.
Yeah.
But then that's the other thing. Koreans aren't fucking either. So like, we're facing the same issue.
Yeah. So like for them too, it's just like the government should be focusing on allowing them to live a life where they can have kids.
Yeah.
Like it's such a work culture. And then you go, by the way, have 4 kids. How? How can you do this? Right? There has to be a culture shift for like Japan and Korea to kind of focus on the family thing, right? And the family part and the reproduction part is a huge part of society, right? It's how we keep the wheels turning. So it's like, and they're trying to fix everything through like immigration when I think like there are issues that you can fix. Like America's story is different, right? America's fucking huge. It's fucking huge. And this country, in my opinion, many people might disagree, it's based on immigration. That's how we have been running.
Settlers.
Yeah, like everything is based on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like any word, like, so I get, that's why when we talk about culture, I know that people are like, well, if you say that what Japan should do, why can't America do the same? It's like, well, who's American? Who's the original here? It's hard to say. Like the country's foundation was based on immigration. Fuck what you're dealing with over here. Come over here. We're the best. This is what the whole country's based on.
Isn't that what the Statue of Liberty is saying?
Yeah.
Give me your hungry, tired, and poor or whatever.
Yeah. So I think it's comparing apples to oranges is how I feel anyways about my perception of what America is. America's supposed to be this land of opportunity. You come from your place, you come here, you build. I'm not saying there shouldn't be immigration laws and a screening process.
Yeah.
But when you make that comparison of like, well, you hear Japan and Korea do it, so are you saying that they're xenophobic? It's like, no. I think the foundation of the country is very different.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so based on the ideals that I think that America is based on, which is like you can build an opportunity here no matter where you're from, I think that's where you should have a distinction, right? So it doesn't feel like xenophobia to me. It's more like if I go to Japan, I want to experience Japan.
That's another thing. Would 500,000 Indian men be able to do that salaryman shit that they do in Japan? What kind of workers are they looking for?
I don't know.
Like steel plant shit? What is it?
I don't know. It's like what
population decline. They just need numbers.
I think so. I think they have a huge population decline issue. Yeah. So it's just like,
there's a billion people there. Like,
because like that's also for Japanese people to think about too. It's like we don't want these immigrant workers. It's like, but you guys need workers.
It's so either you take them or you don't have a country by your next generation.
So are you guys saying that you just hate India, or are you just talking about
either way? Somebody's going to invade you once your numbers are low.
Yeah,
right?
You guys need something.
Yeah, it's like you look at it on a map. These countries, like particularly South Korea, it's the size of like New Jersey, right? But I think people forget it's entirely all hills and mountains.
Yeah.
It's very few flat land. You look at it over Google Earth, it's just stripes of mountains, and so like there really isn't that much land.
Dude, the Japan that I visited 10 years ago to the Japan I visited 2 years ago is vastly different already.
Just numbers dwindling.
There's so many foreigners. It's kind of insane.
So last time I was in Japan, 2011.
Yeah, if you go to like
it was, I didn't see any foreigners.
Yeah, if you go to like what's it called? What's the cross? Is it Shinjuku? The crossing.
Shinjuku, yeah.
You're basically in Los Angeles.
Really?
Yeah,
it's like that now.
I hear more English than I do Japanese, and it's just like, oh, I don't need to be here anymore. It kind of ruined the experience. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Which is like, look, tourism money is fine, whatever, right? But you kind of get to this point where I want to visit a country to experience something I'm not experiencing. Like I didn't come here to visit another version of LA.
Yeah.
Like it felt weird to me. And so when I was there, I'm like, we were there for like a second, maybe like we just got a quick meal, we bounced. We're like, this is not fun. And so we left Tokyo and like the major city and we started, went back to Osaka and Kyoto and it felt better.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this feels like something different.
Right.
Right. So I don't know what that means for Japan or what it means for Korea. Like Korea is going through their crazy like government corruption shit right now.
I mean, why aren't, okay, I've tried to look into like why they're not having kids. Is it just the overall sense of nihilism in the youth where it's like, it's pointless. Why should I have a kid and bring them into this horrid world?
There is a lot of that, right? I did a podcast with Muriel talking about the reason why I decided to have a kid. And I think it resonated with a lot of people because there's a fear, right? Where it's just, you kind of, when you're young, you're in this space of like me, which is fine, right? It's important to focus on yourself. There's a certain point that I think that everybody gets to a certain extent. From when I keep talking to people, it's like they always talk about a what if. And I always say this for people who whether you should or should not have kids. If there's any part of you that says, I wonder what it would be like to have a kid, I think you're in the category of get to a point where you should have a kid, right? Make that a part of your goal. If there's not a single inkling of you wanting to reproduce, don't have a kid because you'll look at your kid like a burden.
Yeah.
Right?
I know that feeling.
If there's a part of you wondering. So for me, I look at it like a book, right? Every day for me prior to this kid for a few years has been Groundhog's Day. Whether I started a new project, a new business or whatever, it just felt like it lost its like luster. You know what I mean? Having a kid opened up this other half of this book that I would have never been able to open if I didn't have this kid.
Yeah.
Whether it's perspective, lifestyle, and everything, it gave me a fresh start of something new that I've never experienced before. And it caused me to grow in ways that I never thought I could have. And I know 100% for myself, don't know for you guys, I would have never been able to develop this way if I didn't have this kid. It would have never happened for me. And so it's like unlocking a level that I only way to get this is if you have a kid.
And
right?
This is all new to you.
It's all new.
Because in other cases, what you were saying, you start a new business, you're still familiar with it. Yeah.
This is something that's completely unfamiliar, right? And it's exciting for me. So I think for a lot of people like nihilists, they go, well, I don't know what the future will hold. Nobody knows that shit, right? You don't stop living just because you don't know what the future holds.
There's something about the society that's holding them back about, even though the society is saying, please have kids, they're also saying, but also work 80 hours.
Yeah.
And give your life to that corporation or something, make pennies. Everything
is off. You know what I mean? In terms of like financially, things are off for people. Even being able to afford a home. Like we haven't developed a world that is conducive for the family lifestyle. So it's hard to tell people, go have kids, but like this system that we've developed in terms of what we put value in isn't based on the family.
It's like, raise them in a studio apartment?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Like, I lived in a junky studio apartment in Gaytown. My neighbors, there was like a full family of 4 living in that. And you've been into my studio.
Yeah.
There was a full fucking families in those spots.
Yeah.
So it's like, our country at this point is like, it's, they're even telling us that we can't retire.
Yeah, which is crazy.
It's crazy.
Like you probably won't have a social security thing at the end. Like you're not going to get that when you're like 65. It's like, okay.
God damn, that bugs the shit out of me too. So, I mean, but so goes life.
It's hard to have that conversation with people. Like So it's like, I don't want people to get it twisted. I'm not telling you that everybody should have a kid,
Yeah.
right? I don't believe in that either. But if you're curious about it, get to a place where you can have a kid is what I'm saying, right? If you have a feeling that this is something that you want, right? Because whether you agree with it or not, you do have a time window for it.
Yeah.
A very, albeit short time window. I wish I would have had our kid 4 or 5 years earlier, but obviously COVID happened, so I can't control that. You know what I mean? So I wasn't sure money-wise, career-wise, what was going to happen, especially with all the businesses. So I decided not to have a kid at the time.
I thought about that. Like, what about, I don't know, I think about sometimes, like, because I'm older and I don't have a kid, like, okay, so once my kid goes to college, I'm pushing 60, you know? And I thought about that, like, I didn't think that was too bad either. Because I think I was too accustomed to the idea of marrying young.
Yeah.
Because my parents got married at 23, 24. That's fucking crazy the way I look at it. You know, like my 23-year-old self was such a fucking little jackass.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad I didn't. But I was at that time having a bit of a quarter life crisis because, like, oh my God, my parents got married at this time. And I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. And then just ended up just leaving, moving to LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like we I think for you were put at a very big disadvantage, right? Especially because like your nuclear household, like what are you basing off having a kid for?
Right.
It's
like,
hard.
I'm not even sure how it's to be done. And I do have a fear, part of me, of like the major fuck ups, right? Even though I know I wouldn't fuck up the way my parents did, there's still a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah.
For me, yeah.
I mean, if you're...
That's the fear. The fear is the fuck up.
There's definitely a lot of thought like, as you guys get to a certain age where you think about death a lot more. And you have to look at life, or the way I look at life, you don't have to do this. I look at life as not so much like everything I want for myself. I look at it now as what do I want to leave behind for the rest of society? So I don't do it in a selfish way now. It's like, okay, if I leave
Legacy.
here. Yeah. Legacy in the sense of nothing that glorifies me. It's more like legacy in the sense of what am I leaving behind that the world can benefit from. So when I look about even raising our kid, right? I highly disagree with parents who say, I just want my kid to be happy. You cannot control another person's happiness.
Yeah.
Whether it's your kid, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Your job is not to say, I want my kid to be happy. Because guess what? You have no control over that.
It's a conditional state of being.
Exactly. And parents, or just people in general who do that, they always fail.
Yeah.
Because you look at their happiness as a marker for your success in terms of what you've done as a parent. And guess what? You could do all the best things in the world, and a lot of times you'll still fail. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I think about like my early Christian life too with that shit, like, and how I came to be actually define my relationship with God was because of those kind of things that I felt like that I was lacking in my life, right? Those fears and all that shit is like, oh, then I have no hope, then I need God kind of thing, right? Do you feel like you became more spiritual, I guess, closer to God-ish, or you renew a type of relationship spiritually through fatherhood?
100%. It's weird.
Because I hear this because there are random, just non-practicing, not religious people, and then they have a kid and they're like, oh my God, I believe in God.
Like, you know what it reminds me of? And I thought about this too, especially when I was high. It's like, it reminds me of people who talk about a psilocybin trip, right? Where they get in touch with this thing that's something that's intangible that makes them believe in something bigger. Yeah. Right? And that's what it felt like having a kid for me. Like when I saw this child, this living thing, and it's like, I can kind of see creation in this kid. Yeah. and it felt
like, that's me. That's my copy.
Yeah. Like, yeah. And I see that like this weird like cycle. I see my dad, I see me, I see this kid. I see my dad, I see this kid. And it made me think about this world outside of my own, right? And I think for me,
generations before?
Yeah, and generations before, people who lost their children.
Like some great-great-great-great-grandfather you have no idea about.
Yeah.
I wonder what kind of embarrassing shit he got into, right?
I see like this huge big picture thing, right? And it made me think about like how grand life is, even beyond our perception, right? So I was talking about on the podcast with Robin, it's like when somebody talks to me about something that's supernatural or unnatural, there's a part of me is like, majority of me is like bullshit, right? But the other part of me is like, maybe, right? Because there are things that I've experienced in my life where it forced me to look outside, right? Where then I start to think like, well, why do I think I know everything, right? And I don't. And then I saw this kid come out and I see creation in this kid and it made me feel a certain way. And this is like the like non-tangible things that makes you think about when you have a kid that a lot of other people have talked about, like you said, right? And so because I saw creation in this kid, it makes me believe in something higher, which is weird, you know?
No, I've seen that so many times. So I just keep seeing people who get kids and then I didn't see them forever and they're back at church kind of issue.
Yeah.
Not issue, a thing. And then there were also a handful of people who had kids and then just left the church.
Yeah.
Perhaps they didn't feel the support from the community or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think about that in a sense of, it's been a long journey for me spiritually too. But because coming to a point where like I'm trying to figure out how to be happy for myself. Because the way you described your earlier life was for you.
Yeah.
Something subconsciously in me, everything I did wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I did it all to make everybody else happy. Because somehow psychologically in me, that makes me happy, right? But then I have no idea how to make me happy. So with all the stuff I've created, I don't actually know what to make for myself.
Yeah.
Really. And so when I'm left to myself with gear and shit, like, I don't know what to make. It wouldn't make me happy if I told the story I wanted to tell kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I think this past year plus has been a lot of me trying to figure that out, right? A certain, I don't want to call it selfishness, but some more attention towards understanding how I need to be loved if I loved myself.
Yeah.
Anything, right?
I'm on that. Like I just put up a new YouTube video outside of podcasting. And then, for the last month, and I talked about it on that video, like I was just like racking my brain about like what I should create and what I should do. And then I started realizing with myself, it was just like, oh, I've turned my space that I enjoy creating into a job. And because I did that, it took away the thing that motivated me to create things, right? Because even if I say verbally that I'm conscious, like, oh, it doesn't matter, just post whatever, it's harder in action than it is in just saying it, right?
Yeah.
Because the reality of the situation is like, when you put your heart and effort into something and people don't appreciate it, it does sting, So I had to like figure out too, it was like, okay, well, remember back in the day, you just did, and you just liked it and you walked away from it. It's like, what were you at that point? It's like, whether it failed or it didn't matter because it was just like, I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
And I should always go back to that, right? And I think even sometimes too, like with this podcast, right? I enjoy the conversations, but in terms of like how it looks aesthetically, it doesn't match anything that I do. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just because it's content that I enjoy doing, but I don't give a shit about anything else about it.
Right.
And I wouldn't do that with other stuff that I do too. So a part of me is like, yeah, I do want to invest into new gear and everything else and then light it better, do all these other things. But then it's like the effort is where I stop. It's like, oh, do I want to do this because of this, and that? But if the point is like you want to walk away feeling good about the things that you post, then it should be something that I'm doing so I can feel good about it. You know what I mean? But then, by the way, guys, equipment's expensive.
Yeah.
Holy shit, it's fucking expensive, dude. Even like buying like a used C200, like people are trying to sell for $1,500. It's like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You're out of your fucking mind. Sell that shit for $500. It's a fucking C200.
I think that's the thing. It's just like, man, in this video business, for me to catch up, I have to keep buying all this gear. And it was like, I think that's probably why I shifted my attention towards post-production editing. So I had to, because there's a lot of thought and planning and all that stuff when it comes to like being a DP. And I think I realized somewhere, I don't know, 2016, where I was like, I don't think I want to shoot anything anymore.
Yeah.
I think after a while, something about me too, something happened where I was like, I don't even like what I shoot. Possibly because everybody else is a better photographer than I am.
Yeah.
Right? I just do it because sometimes this shit is a one-man job.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. And so I focused my attention towards like video editing. And then once again, like you said, it was like I got really good at it, obviously. And helped immensely with so many other things in my life. Like editing helps you have a little more foresight.
Yeah.
Some idea of what you need to have towards the end when you have a bunch of jumbled shit here.
Yeah.
So I became pretty good at piecing that shit together. But the idea was just like, this is shit I don't even want to make. I'm not interested in. I would never share this to my friends. And so I just did that for years.
Yeah.
And I just forgot about it. And then I posted my demo reel. And when I finished that, I was like, hey, man, this shit is good.
Yeah.
Why do I hate myself for this stuff, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to give myself a pat on the back kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I saw through the years where I lost my confidence, even though I was putting out good shit.
Dude, man, I'll tell you this, man. Self-doubt is like the biggest poison in terms of what it gets people to do things that's good for them, right? Like I'm helping somebody I know right now try to build a social media presence for their business, right? And I'm giving them very simple tasks and they just can't pull the trigger on it. And it's just like, what the fuck is going on with your stupid ass is what I'm thinking in my head. You know what I mean? I'm not saying this out loud, right?
You called him, what the fuck? I just
like I love this dude, right? But the reason why I don't say it out loud because I understand what he's going through, because he's doing stuff that I do to myself, but I get to see it in front of me, right? So like I'll task them to do something, and the first thing that's like, yeah, but I look like this. Oh yeah, don't worry about it. I'm like, just fucking do it. I didn't ask you about what you fucking look like.
Yeah, I've run into that so much in production.
Yeah.
Right?
So just fucking do it. I don't give a fuck about how you feel.
It's like, that's how you were born. That's what you fucking look like.
Yeah.
And this red camera is gonna capture exactly what you look like. Don't blame me for the way you are.
Yeah, like I tasked this guy with basically for his business, like, hey, I was like, hey, look, what we found out in a lot of businesses now, and this is like some game for you guys, and people stopped looking at products as much now, but they look more as who the person is behind the product that makes them want to buy the product, right? It's gone back to that. Like, it's like the whole Michael Jordan thing.
Like, Ryan Reynolds, The Rock, like probably the top examples of that running on, like their identity is their business.
Like, exactly. So you'll see things like streetwear brands, right? Is when it comes to like clothing. Now people know the designer. That designer was never the part of the topic unless you were, some highfalutin fucking, A-list brand or whatever, whatnot, right? But now they want to hear the story of the brand person. So it's like, people want to get to know you. I was like, so your first task is, for the first video, I want you to reintroduce yourself, redo the logo, and be more precise about who you are, right? So just say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. How I got into is this. Very simple task. This will send me a random video. I was like, what the fuck? This is not what I asked of you. I didn't get it. I'm like, you're fucking fuck, man. You know what I mean?
Man.
And it's like, do you understand? Like, and I kind of wanted to tell him was like, the amount of time I'm spending on you, do you understand people pay for this? Like I get emails every day. Can you mentor me on this, this, and that? I don't do it because they could pay me and I could do a really good job. I would only take like 2 clients. If I do more than that, then I'm just selling bullshit.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm doing this for free. Like, do it. Why won't you do it? And it's just because the first thing they do before they even send something to me, somebody who I'm taking a mentorship thing for them, they won't send it because they feel weird. It's like,
to you?
To me. You're not even posting this and you're sending it to me. So I could see where you're at.
They got to get over that shit.
It's been a month.
That's crazy.
And I still haven't gotten it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, dude, you're hopeless.
No, I ran into that type where they're an artist and they wanted me to help them film a video, like because they play guitar. Holy shit. Like, I just told them, set it up, and Instagram, it was like 15 seconds, 30 seconds. Yeah, play a cool riff. That's it, dude. It never came out. And then apparently he had a photographer friend come to help film him, and then he had a panic attack, like in his own house where he's filming. So I was just like, okay, then if you can't do this for yourself and I'm sitting there and I shoot you and you act like this, I'm not doing it for you, dude.
Yeah. And that's the hard part. People just can't get out of their own way, right? And the other task that I always give people too, like, this is free game once again, it's just like, I always say, it is the best thing that you're a nobody.
Yeah.
And at first people don't understand that. They go, why? I was like, because nobody knows you. You have free reign to do whatever the fuck you want.
There's two ways of saying one thing, but having a different reaction. And it's like, oh, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
Or nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
And when you handle that same word, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
With that attitude, you can damn near do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, because they'll I was like, so what if I told you, and I did it with this guy, I was like, I want you to put out 3 videos. If it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. You need practice, right? It doesn't do well, who cares? Nobody fucking knows you.
So, you got 5 likes.
Yeah.
So nobody commented.
Yeah, nobody fucking knows
Nobody
you.
cares.
Who cares?
Yeah.
But you cannot get better at something that you are not actively practicing. So this is the great thing. I was like, social media has been the best for businesses because it's something that costs 0 overhead. You have a camera on your phone. You just need to talk. And then you're like, I hated that. Cool. Guess what? You could either delete it later on or you're going to have to practice.
Yeah.
But they can't get out of their own way. There's always something. Oh, this happened. Oh, this. It doesn't. And I'll put it to you like this. If I had a fucking shotgun to your fucking dick and I said, you have to post 3 videos a fucking week or I blow your dick off, could you fucking do it? Yes or no? Yes, you could fucking do it.
Yeah.
If it's bullshit, it takes 2 minutes. Don't even worry about the post. Send a post to ChatGPT. They'll write a fucking post for you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Still can't get it done. So at the end of the day, the reason why you're not successful is because of you, right? You don't even give yourself an opportunity to fail is the problem. You know what I mean? So there's I'm going to fail. It doesn't matter. You didn't even give your chance to be successful or fail. So it doesn't matter. This conversation is pointless, right? And this is kind of like what Gary Vee talks about. Like Gary Vee has some crazy shit that he says. Like some of the stuff I'm like, oh yeah, that's a little much, dude. But this is what Gary Vee talks about, which I agree even before I knew who he was. It's just like, shut the fuck up and just do it, right? If you fail, that's what's supposed to happen. But you don't know what you're good at until you try it, right? And sometimes maybe you just do it because you like it. You know what I mean? How about you just do it because you like it?
See, I'm getting frustrated at school these days too because of this situation. My current teacher tells everyone, read the book, okay? And then the next day, that following week, we just do it. But he doesn't show us how the tools work, like specific tools like to pressurize a system, to vacuum a system, to bench bleed a system, and he says, go do it. And then there's this task, this worksheet, but it's this software that they never taught us. And he's like, go do it. And so I got so fucking frustrated because in the garage, I'm going back to my laptop to go to my computer to read the book again about a step by step. My previous instructors, we went through the book, then we have lab, right? Going to the
Which
garage.
is how it normally works.
Yeah. Then we go over what we learn in the book, and then they show us these steps. My instructor is not doing any of that. So I'm a little stressed.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, I just don't learn like this, right? And I'm expressing my frustrations to some people, and then they're like, but you learned, right? And I'm like, that's not my fucking point, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you learned. And I'm like, I was set up for failure.
Yeah.
Right? You didn't show us anything. I just don't learn like that.
Yeah.
And so as I walked away, I'm thinking, I was like, well, I can't change the way he teaches.
Yeah.
I just have to face this quarter like this.
Yeah.
On my own. I'm just going to learn to do this break shit.
Yeah.
This way. Because I was getting really pissy because I was so fucking frustrated. But as I was walking away, I was like, as pissy as I get, nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
And nobody else is going to help me. Because even I personally feel like I'm probably the second or third smartest person in the class.
Yeah.
So I have very few numbers to go to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like, there are things like that where it's just have to accept, what am I going to do, drop out?
Yeah.
The whole reason why I was telling the story about the editing and me losing passion was jumping into something, that will give me a reward or something, right? Jumping into something that I feel fulfilled in rather than what's happening right now in production or whatever. And so if I run into this now and I pitch out,
Yeah.
Dude, the real world's gonna be worse.
Yeah.
So I'm walking away to myself like, man, I'm being a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, those are the conversations that you do have to have with yourself, right?
Yeah, with yourself.
And I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying when I say this, right? And I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate. It's like every time I talk to somebody who has this situation where they talk about why they can't do something or why things didn't work or whatever, whatnot, right? They also tend to be the person who is highly opinionated about how other people should live their lives, which is the most fascinating thing I've ever seen. Because I always say the same thing to them. It's like, what do you have to show for the way that you live? So show me that is applicable in your life first before you tell me what the fuck I should do, right? You can't give me the reason why I could say, hey, give less fucks and just understand that nobody cares is because I've been through it. And this is how I found my success.
Even your haters don't care as much as you
Exactly.
think they do. Yeah.
Right? It's like, just do it, right? Because I always hear this too. Like the most unqualified people love to talk about the qualifications of others. It is the most fascinating thing I've ever fucking seen, right?
Questioning the qualifications.
Yeah. They always do it without fucking fail, right? I don't know how many times I ran into somebody where they're just like, oh, well, this is how I would do it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you don't do it though.
Right.
So how the fuck would you know, right? Show me. Or give me an example of something, right?
That's like the frustrating thing with what's happening in the podcast space now is fucking vaccine talk.
Oh.
And I'm like, yo, it's that again.
Yeah.
I hate that it came up. We don't even have COVID.
Yeah. Vaccine talks are huge right now,
Yeah.
like with that, with like autism and everything else.
And then you run into the way people argue about it. Neither of them are doctors.
Yeah.
One person says, well, this doctor, da-da-da-da. And then this person says, well, they're not an epidemiologist, and da-da-da-da. And then you're like, I don't think I want to listen to this on my road trip.
Yeah. There was that clip.
This makes my commute suck.
There was that clip of like Brian Callen and
Joe Rogan going at it. At the Fight Companion.
When I first saw it too, I had my own opinions and I watched it again. And I understand why that conversation derailed is because of how Brian Callen approached it.
Yeah.
And he was super snarky. And I think that's why Joe Rogan fought hard back, right? His ego got in a little bit of the way because Brian Callen, I forgot what he said to him exactly, but he was like, oh, we're going to do this conversation. All right,
Brian did his thing where he egged it. Yeah.
Yeah, he basically was, in a way, basically calling Joe stupid without saying it. And that's why Joe.
But then Joe says his rhetoric again, like, you don't know how much I research. I don't have to be a doctor. And, and then you're like, man, can we get to the fights?
Yeah. Like Joe too, like I know people who hate Joe Rogan was looking at that and they were just like, look at Joe and his fragility. But Joe was right. I'm not saying about his facts. I don't know. I haven't looked at it myself and I haven't spoken to other people. But the way Brian Callen started the conversation didn't lend it to be a positive conversation.
And it didn't have to be like them arguing and shit.
Yeah. And Joe also said too, we're doing a Fight Companion. Let's do it elsewhere. But Brian wouldn't let it go, which caused it to go that way.
Yeah.
So when I looked at it like that, or when I saw it again, I was like, yeah, Brian was being weird. Like, if this is a conversation that you want to have, you shouldn't have approached it that way, where you basically called him stupid off jump.
He got really passionate about it. Sounds like vaccines saved somebody in his life.
Yeah.
But
Joe's like, let's have a conversation with this off camera so we can dive deep into it, which means he's open to talking about it, just not on a Fight Companion, which makes sense. And then, Brendan Schaub comes in. I was like, Brendan, get your dumb ass out of here, dude. Yeah. You're the last person anybody want to hear about anything medical or facts or anything.
Actually, I've been starting to feel really bad for him these days.
I think Brendan Schaub.
I think he's had enough hate.
He doesn't know how to position himself in conversations. That's his biggest issue, right? So when he comes in, he goes, "Hey, about that." Brendan, shut the fuck up. Out of all the most unqualified people, you are the example of it. Be quiet. Yeah. Let these two duke it out. But then he wants to jump in. He's like, "Well, have you heard?" Nobody gives a shit about your have you heards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Brendan Schaub too. He's a great mic personality. Right, I have to give him that. He could talk for fucking day. And I think he's very entertaining, right?
Just not a stand-up.
Yeah, it's just like he just needs to like figure out where he can be positioned. You know what I mean? Like when I talk about these type of stuff in vaccines, I'm not talking about it in the sense of, oh, this is what I know. I never say that. I'm just like, hey, can this be a fun conversation where we can talk about this? Let's discuss it. I'm not giving you definites. And the problem with people, like I think with Brendan, he gives out too much definitive statements.
Yeah, well, I was going to just say the same thing about Joe Rogan. Because of the way, like I would say something like I read, or in this article.
What do you think?
Something, yeah. I saw a really poignant video that it's from a history channel. This guy has nothing to do with podcasts, but he actually made this video that has nothing to do with history and said why I stopped listening to Joe Rogan. And it made so much sense as to why I stopped listening to him, to it. He stopped being curious.
Yes.
He used to be so inquisitive, so curious about all these things, and then COVID happened, and then he knew everything.
Yeah.
Something happened because everyone was telling him what to do, and the way Joe Rogan is if you tell him what to do, he's not gonna fucking do it. That's just the way he's built.
That's such a good point too. His podcast was fun because it looked like a version of us just trying to learn.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's okay to be curious. It's okay to not know. And the way, I think he's the earliest people to say, I'm just a moron.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, then it's okay.
Yeah.
Right? And so a lot of dudes started listening in like a bunch of chimps.
Yeah.
Right? And then
he gave us access to people who are smarter than us that we got to hear what they could say without his input. And I think Joe, once he started putting his input in, now it just looks like, oh, you're just kind of interviewing towards your bias. And I think that's where the spark and the fun disappeared for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I noticed that about myself too. I rarely listen to his podcast anymore because it's always like vaccine or something that he's just hyped up about. It's like, can we just what happened to the guests?
I'm like still subscribed, but I'm like not interested. And then it's Neil deGrasse Tyson or Sean Carroll, some scientist. Oh, I'm listening in. Oh, this theologist, this paleontologist. I love those episodes.
Yeah.
You know, and then all the other ones just became like,
you know what he would do that was really cool is like he would bring somebody who he kind of leaned towards, and then the next week he would bring on somebody opposite.
Yeah.
And then he has and like he would let them talk. But you know, for example, there was this episode with him and Graham Norton, and then he brought this other guy named Flint Dibble.
Yeah, I saw that
which,
one.
by the way,
he
looks like a Flint Dibble.
Yeah.
I've never met a Flint Dibble that looked like a fucking Flint Dibble.
It was just like such a, like you're like a movie character of a dweeb.
I paused the podcast because I wanted to see what they look like. And when Flint Dibble looked like what Flint Dibble looked like, I was in tears laughing. I was like, out of all the things I could have imagined, you looked exactly like my imagination, which is crazy.
And the way he was kind of speaking on things too just makes me like, dude, that's why people don't like listening to you. Yeah. Even if you have all the facts and evidence or whatever, right? The inquisitive nature of Graham. So remember when I brought up Graham Norton like months ago, right? And then people in the comments were like, watch out, Ed. I know, guys. Like, I really enjoy the questions that they bring up. Do I agree that there is some lost ancient civilization?
Probably not.
Probably not, because there would be evidence. Yeah. You know, it takes a lot of years for things to really get run down. And so I'm really curious about like the Gobekli Tepe stuff, the pyramid shit.
It's fun talk.
I love that shit, you know? And then he comes in and it's like, you're a fraud and you're making people, it's like, you know, I don't think that aliens built the pyramids, you know? But there's a lot of questions to it and it's fun. And I think it's a huge mystery.
When I watched that debate too, it made me think of two things, right? I was like, Joe Rogan is not the Joe Rogan that I remember. Yeah. Right? Because Joe Rogan was sucking off Graham Norton so hard in that pod. I was like,
dude, you're not impartial.
Yeah, you're not impartial at all. You got to let these two debate. And he kept on like interrupting Flint Dibble saying like, hey, you got it. But he wouldn't do the same for Graham. It's like Graham doing the same thing. So it's like, you're not impartial. And then after the podcast, he was talking so much shit about Flint Dibble, but there were points that Flint Dibble brought up that were very poignant.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of bitch made to bring Graham Norton back to talk shit about the
Yes, exactly. It's like, I wish he would have brought Flint Dibble separatred so they could have a one-on-one. Yeah. But then Joe was like, he's a wacko job. It's like, no, he actually brought up good stuff that actually countered a lot of what Graham Norton said.
And he's like a second or third generation archaeologist.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always bringing, my father.
Yeah. He's brought paperwork. He brought a bunch of facts. And it almost seemed like Joe Rogan ignored him completely, which I think he would have never done before. Yeah. But he leans so hard towards his biases anymore. It's not fun. It's like, now I'm not here to hear other people out. I'm just hearing your wacky ideas and you're finding people to reaffirm what you believe. Yeah. I don't care for that. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. But I'm just... I don't listen to his podcast as much anymore. Because
a girl had the ick on me because she heard somewhere mentioned that I was listening to Joe Rogan and stopped talking to me.
Yeah,
It's like Joe Rogan.
but that's such a weird thing too. It's like you also do understand too. Like I pick and choose Joe Rogan based on his guests. It's
It's like I'm
this
not like
scientist is cool.
religiously like tuning in to everything. I'm not an anti-vaxxer.
But that's stupid, dude. Fuck that bitch too. Who the
Yeah.
fuck cares? You have an iPhone. There were fucking kids who died making your fucking phone. You fucking cuntbag.
It's like, and I listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson.
That's the morality thing too that I don't understand. They go, oh, because you listen to an X amount of thing, it's like, well, he's interviewing a scientist. I'm here for the scientist.
I'm not listening to that dirtbag. What's his bald head kickboxer?
Oh, fucking Andrew Tate.
Yeah, I'm not listening to that bullshit.
Yeah, it's just like a dumb take. It's just like, it was like, well, where are your morals at? It's like, you have an iPhone, bitch. Where's your morals at? Do you know what it took to make that fucking phone? How many kids had to mine the fucking minerals to make your fucking phone? You cuntbag?
Yeah.
You fucking piece of shit. Get the fuck out of here.
It's not like I don't know. I think there's a sense that everybody just thinks everyone else is stupid too, and we don't give enough credit for some people on at face value, I think.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Because even if somebody said, yeah, this girl told me she's listening to Candace Owens, but I'm not like, ew.
Yeah.
Yuck. You know, it's like, okay.
I was like, oh, interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
But I think like that's the hard part for people to say like, ask somebody why. And then here, I just talked to my buddy Esteban about this too, about like, you know, political ideas and stuff like that. And I'm like, it's hard now because like you can't even discuss it, right? Like you can't even hear somebody's why. And it just gets into shouting. Like there's no point at this. Like this is pointless. Nobody learns anything.
Right. I mean, because politics has become a sport and there's only 2 teams and our championship is every 4 years.
Yeah.
And it fucking sucks. I hate this sport. Make politics boring again, dude.
That's a good hat there.
Yeah. Make politics
Can
boring.
we just talk about facts?
Yeah.
Hey guys, that wraps up this episode of the Genius Brain Podcast.
1 hour.
You can catch Genius Brain every Sunday at 12 p.m. We'll see you all next time. Peace.
Peace.